Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Jake from today'siphone.com and here's your TIP Daily for February 5th, 2013. Okay, now the first story of the day has to do with a possible iRadio service in the future. Now 9to5Mac did some digging into a newly jailbroken iPad running iOS 6.1 and they found a couple radio buying buttons buried in a folder for music components for the OS. Alone, these buttons aren't very interesting at all, but what they could suggest that Apple is working on a streaming radio service is very interesting indeed. Now rumors of an iRadio or an iTunes radio streaming service similar to Pandora or Spotify have been around for a long time, and apparently Apple is currently at the stage of trying to negotiate with record labels and stuff to get this service off the ground, but we've heard nothing official about it and nothing really confirming it or even starting to suggest that Apple is getting ready to implement this into the OS until now. Now, of course, this is no guarantee, but it does seem promising. Okay, moving on. A recent Apple job listing has got a lot of people thinking that the company could be bringing full-fledged Siri to its OS X computers. Now, Siri-like dictation did hit OS X computers with the launch of Mountain Lion, so basically anytime or any place that you would be able to enter text, you can activate a keyboard shortcut and speak the text to the computer and it will interpret it much like Siri does on our cell phones and turn it into text. But that's all it does. It can't complete any requests, set any reminders, or look up anything like that like Siri can. And a lot of people were pretty disappointed in that because they thought that Siri would be a cool and useful feature to have on a laptop or a PC. But recently, an Apple job listing was posted for a Siri UI engineer that has to be familiar with Unix, especially on Mac OS X, and is supposedly going to develop some new features. So this could mean that Apple is finally planning on bringing full-fledged Siri to our MacBooks and our iMacs, or it could just mean that, Apple wants the developers to be able to develop on Macs when they develop for Siri on a phone. There's really no way of knowing. Okay, moving on to iPad news, the 128GB iPad 4 quietly launched today. It is now available online and in Apple stores. If you order it online, it will ship in 1 to 3 days. $7.99 for the Wi-Fi only version and $9.29 for the LTE version. The only real exceptions with those shipping dates are the Sprint or Verizon LTE versions here in the United States, which could take up to 5 days to ship. Alright, and finally, as I'm sure you all know, the jailbreak for iOS 6.1 devices is finally live. And to help you out, we have Kyle's, Cam's, and Matt's top 5 tweaks for your iPhone 5. Personally, I didn't jailbreak any of my devices, but they have a bunch of really cool jailbreaks and tweaks and themes and stuff listed up on these lists. So you can check those out in the descriptions down below and let me know what your favorite tweaks are in the comments. Okay, well that's all the big news for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your question of the day today is, of the 2 rumored software things that we talked about today, an iRadio streaming service from Apple or Siri on OS X laptops and computers, which would you prefer and why? You can let me know in the comments section down below or on Twitter at TIP_Jake. Please don't forget the links to everything I talked about in this video in the description down below, so definitely check those out. And as always, for more news, views, and reviews, don't forget to hit up today'siphone.com.